What up, y'all? I'm Bokeh Bob, and today we're back with another Switch review. This time we're checking out the TBcats Eclair Green Linear from Kinetic Labs. Quick disclaimer before we get started, these switches were sent to me for review from Kinetic Labs. However, all opinions are my own and from my experiences using the switches. Also, if you would like to support the channel, then please consider doing so by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and checking out the affiliate link to the switches below. I also put a link to my Beacons page, which will allow you to check out my other social medias and see other recommended products with discount codes. The Eclair Green Switch is for sure different from the currently extremely crowded linear switch market. They differ themselves by being super smooth without any factory lube and having a unique stem, as seen here. My thoughts is that since the stems have what look like teeth or ridges, it allows less area of the stem to make contact with the bottom and top housing, causing them to be smoother. Let's crack one of these open and check out their specs. First, these switches are manufactured by Texi. The top housing is made out of PA66 nylon. The bottom housing is also made from PA66 nylon. The stem is a long pole HPE stem. And lastly, the spring is a dual stage, 22mm long, and has a 55-gram bottom mount. Let's get these into the Mode Envoy and see how they sound. Quick note, I did lube the stems with 205 grade 0 and the springs with 105 grade 0 since they did come dry. Before we hear these switches, I would like you to keep in mind that I have been keeping the Mode Envoy I use in sound test built exactly the same for all my switch reviews. This allows you to easily compare switch sounds from review to review. Hopefully this helps you out in the future and current decisions when deciding on which switches to buy. What are your thoughts on the green Eclair switches? Let me know in the comments down below and recommend any switches you would like to see me review in the future. Now onto the perks and quirks, which always my favorite part. The Eclair green switch is for sure a solid switch when it comes to a high-pitched clacky sound signature, and their unique stems set them apart from most switches you see in the market today. It gives you something different in your build. However, if I had to compare them to other switches in the same price point, which is right around 59 cents a switch, I would think any of the B-Sun switches would be a better buy. Simply because you don't have to worry about lubing the B-Sun switch. Whereas the Eclair switch, it 100% needs to be lubed, and I would also recommend filming them. This leads to the quirks. In a market where most switches are factory lubed, these come dry and did have some noticeable spring ping and a light leaf ticking before I lubed them. Once I lubed the switches, all the weird noises went away. As mentioned before, I also think they're a little more higher priced than the current market, where 45 cents seems to be right where you can get a banger switch or is quote-unquote meta pricing. Lastly, I did find them to be very tight in my Mode Envoy palm plate. However, this varies from plate to plate. It could be different in your experience. This leads me to my recommendation. I do not think these are bad switches, and if it is a switch you've been looking for, I would say go ahead and grab them. They sound great. Just keep in mind that they need to be lubed. There are many other switches currently in the market that I would recommend over these solely because they come factory lubed. Once the Eclair green switch is lubed and on the same playing field, I feel that it can compete with any other long pole linear. As I said before, 100% lube these switches, and I would also recommend filming them too. As always, I will put a link to these switches in the description below, and also make sure to check out a couple more of my recent reviews here. Oh, like the video and subscribe already. If you've made it this far, especially on, 3 or 4 of my videos, it greatly helps out with future content. As always, have a good day and week. Bokeh Bob out.